Hello and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to make these confetti poppers. These can be used for any fun celebration, but I am using mine for bridesmaid proposals. These are a lot of fun to make and very super cheap and easy, so let's get into it. I am using this is used to fill gift boxes and baskets, but I'm using it as my confetti. I need 2 acrylic paints. You'll see soon that I don't actually use them. A ruler, and then I got these glitter pieces of paper from AC Moore. They're like $1.99 each. They're very thick and glittery, but you will see in a minute how I struggle because the paper is so thick. I recommend choosing a thinner piece of paper. 2 different types of paper cutters. I used this for my paint, but we're not going to use it, so you'll see. Then I got these cake push pops from Amazon. It comes in a pack of 12. I will leave the link below for you. So right now I am using my acrylic paints to paint each top of the confetti popper, but the paint wasn't sticking to the plastic. So I later ran to the dollar store, got some gold spray paint, and then spray painted the tops. Now I need to measure out how long the craft paper needs to be. So I'm using one of the poppers with a cap on it because I need to measure from the bottom of the cap to the bottom of the popper. So I just measured with my ruler, but I wanted to make sure that when I'm putting the cap on that the paper doesn't get messed up when I'm putting the cap on. The cap still needs to fit. So after measuring with a ruler, it was just one little line past the 3-inch mark. So then I measure that out on the craft paper. I use my little paper cutting pen to mark the places, and then I use my paper cutter to make a really straight line. Now I'm wrapping it around the container to see where I need to cut the paper, and then when I squeezed it, the pop flew off. So you can see there. But then I was just able to use this one square that I have already traced and cut out to the right size to make all the other squares. So it wasn't that hard once you got the first one done. So right here you see that I'm just taking off the extra little centimeter of paper, and I'm using the opposite side so it's white against the pink, because I originally was doing pink against the pink and I couldn't make the exact line. I was messing up. So now I have 2 sheets of craft paper that are the same exact size that I can wrap around the container, and I was trying to take off the sticker but it wouldn't come off. So there we have 2, and now I gotta make 5 more. So like I said at the beginning of the video, a lesson that I learned from doing this craft was that I picked paper that was way too thick. So it had a hard time wrapping in a circle around the container and staying stuck to the container. I'm using a spray adhesive glue, which is a really, really strong glue, but still it didn't want to stick to the container as well. So what I had to do was, after I sprayed the back side of the craft paper and then stuck it onto the container and held it for about 45 seconds to a minute to dry, I had to use a piece of just regular Scotch tape from the top of the container to the bottom of the container down the binding of the container where the 2 pieces of paper, or the 2 ends, meet, if that makes sense. So I suggest that if you're going to do this, just use a thin piece of paper, and maybe you can use just tape instead of using glue to begin with, but that is something that I know for next time I need to choose paper that is not as thick. And also, FYI, if you use this spray adhesive glue, put a piece of paper towel on the cap because your fingertip will stick to the top of it. It's very strong stuff. After I did this to 7 of the containers, I let them sit there and dry, and then I applied the tape to the crease just to make sure that the craft paper was not going to come off. But I went ahead and skipped forward instead of showing you all 7 confetti poppers. So then my next step was to take this stuff that is used for filling up boxes. It's kind of like what I'm using for confetti, and the strands are just way too long. So I decided to cut them in half and put it all in a bowl. I am going to actually get some actual confetti pieces from AC Moore or Michaels and put some of that in here as well, because I feel like that's a heavier type of confetti and it might fly out a little bit better. This still flies out great, but I want to add some heavier pieces so that I get more of an explosion per se. So I just filled up all the containers with it. It was kind of finicky getting all of it to stay in there, but then I put the caps on and then it was all good to go. So here it is, the finished product. I am so excited about this and I cannot wait for my girls to see it and pop it when they say yes, they will be my bridesmaids. Thank you for watching this video. I hope that you give it a thumbs up, share with your friends, and I'll see you soon.